The night she vanished into the woods. The sky was the color of bruised flesh, dusky purple, streaked with the last bloody fingers of sunset, when my daughter ran away from me for the first time. Lena had always been the quiet kind of child, the kind who tucked her knees to her chest during thunderstorms, who whispered secrets to the dog instead of friends. That's why her scream shattered me like glass. "You're a liar!" Her chair screeched against the floor. A spoon clattered into her untouched soup. Then she was gone, out the back door, into the shadow-drenched woods behind our house. "Lena, come back!" My voice ripped raw through the air, but the trees swallowed her whole. I stumbled after her, branches clawing at my arms. The forest smelled of damp earth and rotting leaves, the kind of scent that clings to bad memories. My flashlight beam trembled over gnarled roots, every rustle of leaves making my pulse spike. Was that her, or something else? Memories flickered. Lena at 6, pressing her ear to my chest to listen for secrets. Lena at 12, frowning at our family photos. "Why don't we have any pictures of your sister?" Me, lying through a smile. "She died before you were born." Now the trees whispered back my own deceit. I called until my throat burned. The police would have said wait 24 hours, but mothers know every second a child is gone is a lifetime. I was about to dial 911 when I saw her, a pale smudge against the dark. Lena stood at the edge of the clearing, her yellow dress glowing like a ghost in the moonlight. She wasn't crying anymore. She was empty, and in her hands, a letter, not fresh paper, something brittle, yellowed at the edges, folded like a relic, the kind of thing you bury, the kind of thing that should have stayed buried. "Read it," she said. Not a request. A verdict. The envelope crackled as I turned it over. No stamp, just 2 words in faded ink, written in a handwriting I hadn't seen in 15 years. For Lena. My knees hit the wet grass, because that wasn't my writing. It was hers, my sister's, the one I'd sworn was dead. The letter that shattered us. The envelope felt like a live wire in my hands. Lena didn't move, didn't blink, just stood there, her breath shallow, eyes locked onto mine as if she could see the lie before I even spoke. The moon cast jagged shadows across her face, turning my sweet girl into a stranger. I peeled back the brittle flap. The paper sighed open, releasing a scent, old ink, lavender, and something metallic, like dried blood. My vision blurred at the first line. "My darling Lena, if you're reading this, I'm already gone." A sound escaped me, half gasp, half sob. Katie's voice. After all these years, her words hit me like a slap. Lena flinched. "Keep reading." The letter trembled in my hands. "Your aunt will tell you I died. That's the story we agreed on. But the truth is, I chose to disappear. For you." A cold drop of rain splattered the paper, smudging the ink. Or maybe it was my tear. "You were never supposed to know this, but you deserve the truth. I'm not just your aunt. I'm your—" "No!" The word tore out of me before I could stop it. I clutched the letter to my chest, as if that could undo what Lena had already seen. Her face twisted. "I'm your what? Finish it!" Wind howled through the trees. Somewhere deep in the woods, a branch snapped. I forced my hands to lower the paper, forced myself to read the rest aloud, though each word tasted like poison. "I'm your mother." Silence. Then Lena made a sound I'll never forget, a wounded animal noise, raw and guttural. "You lied to me?" It wasn't that simple. "My whole life is a lie." She lunged, snatching the letter. The paper ripped, a jagged tear splitting Katie's signature in half. I reached for her. "Lena, please." She stumbled back. "Don't touch me." Each word a blade. "All those times I asked about her. You looked me in the eye and said she was dead." The rain came harder now, mixing with the tears on her cheeks. "Who's my father? Where is she? What else did you steal from me?" Lightning flashed. In that split second, I saw it, the exact moment my daughter started hating me. Then she turned and ran again. This time I didn't follow. Because the letter wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the postscript, the one Lena hadn't seen yet, written in Katie's frantic looping script. If he ever finds you, don't trust him. Don't trust anyone. Even the family you think you know. The ghost in the photograph. The police called it a voluntary disappearance. For 3 days after the woods, that's what Lena was. Just another statistic. Another teenage girl who walked out of her life. I didn't sleep, just sat at the kitchen table, staring at the torn letter and the one photograph I'd kept hidden in a locked drawer for 15 years. Katie and me, arms slung around each other at Coney Island, squinting against the sun. Her smile was all teeth, mine tight at the edges, because the man behind the camera, him, was the reason my hands shook even then. Daniel, Lena's father. The coffee in my cup had gone cold when the doorbell rang. I knew it wasn't her. Lena would have kicked the door open or not come home at all. Still, my heart jackhammered as I peered through the peephole and saw her eyes staring back. Not Lena's, Katie's. The man on my porch had them too, that unsettling hazel green, like sunlight through a whiskey bottle. The same eyes I'd last seen the night Katie whispered, "He'll kill me if he finds out about the baby." Now here he was, older but unmistakable. His leather jacket reeked of cigarettes and gasoline. "Claire," he smiled, all charm and venom. "Long time." My fingers dug into the doorframe. "You need to leave?" "Where's my daughter?" Every hair on my neck stood up. How did he? Then I saw it, clutched in his hand, a Polaroid of Lena at the gas station 2 towns over. The timestamp read 6:32 a.m. today. "She reached out to me," he said, flipping the photo to reveal messy block letters on the back. "I think you're my father. Meet me at the river dock. Devitchasa. L." The room tilted. "No, no, no." "She doesn't know what you are," I hissed. Daniel leaned in, his breath hot against my ear. Funny, Katie said the same thing. Behind him, car tires crunched gravel. A black SUV idled at the curb, back door open like a waiting mouth. I slammed the door, locked it, grabbed the baseball bat from the hall closet. But when I looked back through the peephole, he was gone. Only the Polaroid remained, pinned to my door with a switchblade. And scrawled beneath Lena's note, in handwriting that wasn't hers, "Runnings in her blood, just like her mom." The river dock at midnight. The river smelled like rust and rotting fish. Lena checked her phone again. 9:17 p.m. No texts, no calls. Just the same grainy photo she'd sent to the man who might be her father, now set as her lock screen. "Meet me at the river dock, 9 p.m. She hadn't signed her real name, hadn't even been sure he'd come. But the Polaroid left on her aunt's, no, her mother's, door proved he'd gotten the message. Footsteps on gravel. Lena spun, heart in her throat. A silhouette emerged from the fog, tall, broad-shouldered, moving with the same cautious grace she saw in herself when she danced. Oh, God, this is him. "Lena?" His voice was deeper than she'd imagined, softer too. She forced herself to step forward. "Daniel?" Moonlight caught his face as he moved closer, hazel green eyes just like hers. A scar through his left eyebrow. And something else, a nervous tic she recognized instantly because she did it too, rubbing his thumb over his knuckles when he was anxious. "You look—" He swallowed. "Christ, you look just like her. Her, not Katie, not your mother, just her, like she was a ghost between them already." Lena's hand shook. "Tell me what happened to her." Daniel's smile faded. He glanced over his shoulder, a quick, furtive movement, before pulling a folded newspaper clipping from his pocket. "You should read this first." The paper was brittle with age. The headline screamed, "Local woman missing, presumed dead below it. A photo of Katie at 22, grinning beside a cake. Her last birthday." Lena's vision blurred. "This doesn't tell me anything new." "Turn it over." On the back, a handwritten note. "Claire knows the truth. Ask her about the gun." A cold wave crashed through Lena's chest. "What gun?" Daniel's jaw tightened. "The one Claire used the night Katie disappeared." Lights flared behind them. Tires screeched. The black SUV from Claire's house skidded to a stop 10 feet away, headlights blinding. Daniel shoved Lena behind him. "Run!" The passenger window rolled down. A familiar voice, Claire's, shouted, "Lena, get in the car now!" But it was the glint of metal in the driver's hand that made Daniel curse. "That's not your mom." The driver turned, revealing a woman with Katie's face, but harder, older. A cigarette dangled from her lips. "Hey, little sister," she said to Claire. "Miss me?" The sister who came back. Time stopped. The woman in the driver's seat exhaled cigarette smoke slowly, watching us through the haze with eyes I hadn't seen in 18 years. Eyes I'd mourned, eyes I'd buried. Katie, alive, and pointing a gun at my chest. Lena made a strangled noise behind Daniel. "Mom?" The word shattered something in me. Katie's mouth curled. "Took you long enough to call me that, kid." Daniel stepped forward, blocking Lena. "Kate, we agreed. No guns." Plans change. Katie's gaze never left mine. Claire knows why. The river lapped at the dock. Somewhere, a foghorn groaned. I remembered another night like this. Same dock, same gun in my hand, Katie bleeding at my feet. "You'll never be free of him," she'd gasped, "so I'm making you free." Now her finger twitched on the trigger. "You kept my daughter, stole my life. And for what?" She jerked her chin at Daniel. "He found us anyway." Lena's voice shook. "What the hell is happening?" Katie laughed, a bitter, broken sound. "Ask your aunt what happened the night she killed me." The gun in my memory grew heavier. Flashback, Katie shoving the pistol into my hands. Daniel's shouts echoing from the woods. Her whisper, "Shoot me." Not to kill, just enough to make him believe. "Are you insane?" Her fingers digging into my wrist. "He'll chase me forever, unless he thinks I'm dead. Do it, Claire." A gunshot, a scream. Daniel crashing through the trees just in time to see me murder my sister. Present. Katie tapped the gun barrel against her temple. "Turns out fake dying has consequences, sis, like losing your kid, like watching your sister raise her as her own." She cocked the hammer. "Time to fix that." Lena stumbled back. You wanted her to shoot you?" Daniel grabbed Katie's arm. "Enough, we're leaving, with Lena." Like hell. I lunged for the car. Bang! The shot ricocheted off the dock. Lena screamed. Katie's smile turned feral. "Next one's in your knee, Claire. Let's see how well you run after that." The SUV door flew open. Lena didn't hesitate. She ran, not toward me, toward them. The birth certificate. The taillights of the SUV disappeared into the fog like dying embers. I stood frozen on the dock, the echo of the gunshot still ringing in my ears. My knees gave out, splinters biting into my palms as I collapsed onto the weathered wood. She chose them. The thought was a knife twisting deeper with every breath. 18 years of bedtime stories and skinned knees and whispered, "I love yous," erased in one night. The river lapped hungrily at the dock posts. Somewhere in the back of my mind, a memory surfaced. Katie at 16, dangling her feet over this very spot, saying, "Water always finds a way to drown the truth, Claire." I drove home in a daze. The house was too quiet. Lena's bedroom door stood open, her favorite sweater still draped over the chair. I picked it up, pressing the fabric to my face, still smelling of her coconut shampoo. Then I saw it, the loose floorboard near her dresser, slightly raised. I pried it up with shaking fingers. Beneath it lay a manila envelope, dust-covered but unmistakably old. Inside, 2 documents. A birth certificate. Parentis, Catherine Marie Sullivan, and Daniel Joseph Hart. A notarized custody agreement signed by Katie granting me guardianship, dated 3 days after her supposed death. The dates didn't make sense. Unless... You knew? Katie's voice startled me so badly I dropped the papers. She stood in the doorway, gun still in hand, but lowered now. The moonlight through the curtains striped her face like prison bars. "You knew I wasn't really dead," she said softly. "All these years." I clutched the documents to my chest. "I found the custody papers in my mailbox a week later. By then, you were gone. Daniel was in jail for assaulting a cop during his grief rage. And Lena?" My voice broke. She needed someone. Katie's knuckles whitened on the gun. "I left instructions, letters for every birthday. You never gave them to her. They would have destroyed her." The words tore out of me. How do you explain to a child that her mother chose to abandon her, that her father's a criminal, that her whole life is a lie? Katie finished bitterly. She stepped closer. "Like the lie you told Daniel when you visited him in prison, that Lena died with me?" The air left my lungs. She knew. "He spent 12 years mourning his daughter," Katie whispered. 12 years before a PI found her school photo. Imagine his rage when he realized you did this. A car door slammed outside. Katie's eyes flicked to the window. He's coming, and he's not here to talk. Somewhere downstairs, glass shattered. The gun in her hands. The front door exploded inward. Daniel stood framed in the wreckage, his breathing ragged, eyes wild. In his hands, a shotgun, barrel sawed short, the kind of weapon that doesn't wound, the kind that erases. "Where's my daughter?" Katie moved first, shoving me behind her. "Daniel, stop. Don't." He swung the gun toward her. 12 years in prison because of her lies, because of your scheming. You think I'm walking out without payback?" The house smelled like gun oil and broken pine from the shattered door. Some distant part of my brain registered that this was how we'd end, not in some dramatic standoff, but in Lena's childhood home, amid her half-packed college textbooks and the strawberry-scented candle she'd left burning. Then I saw her, Lena in the hallway, backlit by the flickering porch light. Something glinted in her hands. A revolver, my revolver, the one I kept in the safe. "Lena!" My voice cracked. She raised the gun, not at Daniel, at me. "You told him I was dead?" Her hands shook, but her aim didn't waver. "You let him grieve while you played house with his child?" Daniel made a wounded noise. "Baby girl!" "Don't call me that!" Lena's scream rattled the windows. "All of you, lying, manipulating. Was any of it real?" Katie took a step forward. "The love was real. Everything we did, bullshit." Lena thumbed back the hammer. "You faked your death. You left me with her?" The barrel swung toward Daniel. "And you, how many people did you hurt chasing a ghost?" The truth hit me like a bullet. She's not choosing sides. She's rejecting us all. Daniel lunged. 3 things happened at once. Katie tackled him. The shotgun roared. Lena fired. The mirror above the fireplace exploded. Shards rained down like jagged ice as Daniel and Katie crashed to the floor. The shotgun skidded into the kitchen. Silence. Then Lena's whisper, "Get out." Daniel stared up at her, blood trickling from his temple where a glass shard had grazed him. "You don't mean that." "I do." Lena lowered the gun, her eyes dead. "You want to be my parents? Prove it. Walk away and never come back." Katie reached for her. "Lena, please. Now!" The raw agony in that word broke something between us forever. Daniel stood slowly, pulling Katie up with him. They backed toward the ruined door, 2 broken people who'd gambled everything and lost. As they disappeared into the night, Lena finally looked at me. "You too." Part 1. The Empty House. The foreclosure notice came on a Tuesday. I sat on Lena's stripped bed, the gun safe gaping open where she'd taken the revolver, running my fingers over the indentations in the carpet from her dresser. The house already smelled like someone else's memory. The realtor had said fresh coat of paint and new fixtures, as if that could erase 18 years, as if you could cover up gunshot scars with wallpaper. My phone buzzed. An unknown number. Attachment. 1 image. The photo loaded slowly, a sliver of turquoise ocean, a dock weathered by salt and time. No caption, no return address, but I knew. Katie always loved the Gulf. Part 2, the news report. The TV in the motel bar droned, Hart and Sullivan, wanted in 3 states for armed robbery, were apprehended at a gas station near Corpus Christi. Police report Sullivan sustained a gunshot wound during the chase. The bartender eyed my white-knuckled grip on the whiskey glass. You know those folks? I slid a 20 across the counter. I thought I did. The screen cut to mugshots. Daniel, snarling. Katie, pale but smirking, her shoulder bandaged. And tucked in the corner of the frame, a familiar yellow duffel bag on the police cruiser's hood. Lena's. Part 3. The hospital. Katie's hospital room smelled like antiseptic and stolen cigarettes. She grinned when she saw me, wincing as she stubbed out her smoke in a soda can. Knew you'd come? I didn't sit. Where is she? Gone. Again? Katie flicked the security bracelet on her wrist. Left this for me, though. She tossed me a folded motel receipt. On the back, in Lena's handwriting, stop looking. I'll be the one who finds you. Katie's voice softened. She's better at this than I ever was. At what? Disappearing. The heart monitor beeped between us. Part 4. The river. I found Daniel in the interrogation room, cuffed to the table. He looked up, eyes bloodshot. She visit you too? I didn't need to ask who. Left me a postcard, I said. Bitch. He laughed hoarsely. Left me nothing. The detective outside cleared his throat. 5 more minutes? Daniel leaned forward. You think she'll forgive us? The river outside the station window churned, dark and relentless. No, I said, but she might understand. Part 5. The letter. 1 year later. The envelope arrived on the anniversary of the night she ran into the woods. No return address. Just my name, written in that looping script I'd know anywhere. Inside, 2 things. A key to a storage unit in Baton Rouge. A note. Box number 12 has the answers you want. Box number 14 has the ones you need. L. I drove all night. Part 6. The storage unit. Box number 12 held a stack of news clippings. My arrest record, forged from when I killed Katie. Daniel's prison logs, visits from K. Hart. Lena's birth certificate, amended, father unknown. And at the bottom, a faded Polaroid. Katie, pregnant, pressing a gun into my hands. Box number 14 contained every birthday letter Katie had written, Lena's childhood drawings of my 2 moms, and 1 new sheet of paper. They lied to you too. I'm sorry it took me this long to see it. Meet me at the river dock. Sunset. Your daughter. Part 7. The dock. She stood where it all began, backlit by the dying sun. No gun this time, just a woman who'd learned the hardest truth, that love and lies often wear the same face. Hey, Lena said. The wood creaked as I sat beside her. The river smelled the same, moss and memory. You read them? She nodded at the letters in my lap. All of them? A fish broke the surface. Ripples spread like cracks in glass. You were right, she said. I needed to hate you first, to see them, to see everything. And now? She leaned into me, just slightly, the way she did as a child during thunderstorms. Now, I'm tired. We watched the water swallow the sun. Somewhere, a night heron cried. Somewhere, a door opened. Final lines. Epilogue, 6 months later. The postcard from Key West shows 3 women on a pier. Katie, grinning, her arm in a sling. Me, squinting at the camera. Lena, between us, holding our hands. On the back. Still breathing, still lying, still family. The Sullivan Girls. The end.